Let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mics, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
Alrighty, guys, here we go. We're going to have some fun today. It's going to be a great show. We always have a good time, regardless of what day it is, what time it is. We have a great time.
We have all of our spare stuff set up. We were going to have a guest today. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out, but
And you know what?
life happens.
These are probably going to be our background. These are going to be our background things regardless. Those extra mics, when we have our extra people on, they'll be used. When they're not, they'll probably be sitting right there.
Yep. But other than that, it's a good day. It's always a good day to do a Bikes, Mics, and Idiot podcast.
I was about to say, it's not always a good day, but to do a podcast, when
it's
we're
a
doing
fun
our
day.
podcast, it's a fun day. It's always a fun day. We always have a great time when we're doing this thing. We'll throw back into this again because this is something we may put up if you guys are interested. We may throw this up in there. This is not our actual logo, but this is a little something we threw up for ourselves.
We've got
This is
Sketchy.
kind of like
Sketchy should have it done. He said it would take him about a week and a half with all the tweaks and everything, and then us
by the
approving,
time
etc.
this thing actually, by the time this actually posts,
we will probably have our
might already have
full-time
our-
logo ready to go.
but we're still going to have these.
Oh, yeah.
And these are our personal ones.
So if you want to get a super cool one, you get the Porsche lettering. If you want to get
Or-
one that's pretty cool,
You get the
but
Ferrari
if you want to get
lettering.
one that's quick, you get the Porsche one. If you want to get the fast one, you go for the Ferrari, because honestly, Ferraris are some of the fastest cars ever been built.
And they're
Porsches,
amazing.
Porsches, quick.
And don't get me wrong, I love Porsches.
Oh, I love them both.
Me too. But this is why we did these kind of letterings.
Yep.
Because I'm more of a Ferrari fan.
I'm more of a Porsche fan.
So we did these letterings for ourselves. But if we hear enough interest on this, we can do this and we can have customized ones.
Oh, yeah.
Or we can do
Bikes, Mics, and Idiot on one side, customized for your name on the other
customized for your
side.
name on the other side, and then you can pick if you want the Ferrari font or if you want the Porsche font.
Oh, sorry. I just saw that you were wearing a Dallas hat. My bad.
Oh,
I just threw up a little.
We're gonna go into this a little bit.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, sorry.
I should have never given him a soundboard.
Nope, you never should have. But to be honest, you're wearing Dallas. I'm representing Buffalo there in the back, so it is what it is, We have our own teams now. I have to have a hatred for Dallas because they beat Buffalo a lot.
What was it?
But
Two. It was two
years
Super
ago.
Bowls.
Two
It was
Super Bowls, but
Bowls.
then games here and there
And
every
yeah.
time. But
how many Super Bowls do the Bills have?
0.
A big old goose egg.
But they're still my team.
And you know what? That's respectable. And don't get me wrong, love Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal quarterback.
He doesn't have the team behind him yet to get to the big game and win, I don't think. They got some growing right now going on.
He had the possibility. He could have been that dark horse.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Stephon Diggs, for all the talk that he talked, let him down in the playoffs, unfortunately, this year. But that's in the past. They've moved forward. They've made some changes. I love.
They made changes.
Well, of
Where's
course they
Stephon Diggs?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but he's not at the Bills.
No, he's not at the Bills anymore. So they've made some changes. They've made some adjustments, and I mean every team does that every year. That happens with every team.
Absolutely.
We lost Poyer, unfortunately, and he went to a rival, the Dolphins. But I hope he does well. He's a Buffalo Bill at heart. I love the guy.
A good buddy of mine is a Dolphins fan, so
yeah. And I don't.
I'm happy for him.
I mean, as much as I hate Dallas, I don't hate Dallas fans. That's their team. That's their
Don't
team.
get me wrong. I hate some Dallas fans. I do. Because some of them are
game one
they're
when they
insane.
win. Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. Look at that win.
Don't get me wrong. Lately,
Yeah.
the last few years they've had the opportunity. They've had the team.
The execution didn't happen.
The execution didn't.
And that's what happened with the Bills this last year. Like they should have won that conference game. They should have beat them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
it happens.
Okay, so I'll say this: the Chiefs are your kryptonite, as Green Bay is
your
Dallas'
kryptonite. Yeah,
for some reason. And don't get me wrong,
and it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Because
what can you do?
Okay, when Aaron Rodgers was there, okay, understandable. Aaron Rodgers picks off some good plays. Okay,
that's Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I was gonna say that was me when Aaron Rodgers beat Rodgers beat us a few years back. Holy crap, that play where it was a throw sideline out, and then they were able to score.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was legit. That was actually.
But that's what makes it America's game. It really is. Sometimes the underdog does it. Like, look at Detroit last year.
Holy crap!
Oh my,
dude, Detroit was amazing.
I wasn't a Bills, I was a Detroit fan. I was a Detroit fan for their games. I was like, come on, Detroit,
absolutely.
do it.
Me too.
But like, even as a diehard Bills fan, I was like, man, Detroit, they got some stuff going on. Like
they really did.
They did well.
They were.
And I don't begrudge. I don't begrudge Kansas City. I mean, I don't like Kansas City, but they played.
I wonder why.
Excellent game. I mean, they played well.
And that's talk about why you don't like Kansas City.
Yeah, no. That's kind of like why I don't like Dallas.
Same reason I don't like the Packers.
The Packers. But I mean, it is what it is. We beat them earlier in the season. They beat us when it counted. And that's what happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole point of it. It's no different than Stanley Cup. That's the one thing I do like about hockey for their tournament, which is the Stanley Cup. It's a tournament. It's a 7-game series, best of 7 wins. Whereas, like, if you put, I mean, like, I don't think their bodies could take it because football players destroy themselves over a season. But
so do hockey players, though.
Yeah, yes and no.
Maybe
I mean, you're sliding.
Not
I mean,
not as much, but when they do get into it, they get into it.
Oh yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
I definitely think there's you have someone licking your leg. I think
not yet.
Or sniffing your leg.
I'm waiting. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there's the baby. So we have the other Boston Terrier that came out. So I have a gray and white Boston Terrier and a black and white Boston Terrier. Black and white's out here. She heard us talking about the Patriots and got upset. Damn Boston
I wonder
people,
why.
I tell you.
I wonder why.
So have you seen the roast of Tom Brady yet?
I actually didn't watch it.
I've watched the first half. I'm like an hour and a half in. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. It is hilarious.
Is it?
And a couple of us at work were talking the other day about it, and we're like, this is what's supposed to happen. We're making fun of everybody and everything. And
absolutely.
And it's okay.
Hey, let me see.
Nobody's upset.
Hey, let me see. Our community does that normally?
Oh, yes. The biker community, the LE community, we all do that.
Absolutely.
All the time.
That's a normal thing for that kind of thing.
Us.
We do that.
But for the normal people, like how long has it been since you've seen a roast?
It's actually been a while.
It's like 3 or 4 years. COVID shut them down a lot. I mean, that's because of the writer's strike and COVID that shut them down. But like ultimately, when you think about it, really roasting people, like there was no punches pulled on Netflix when they did it. And shout out to Netflix, and I will give you guys a shout out all day long for doing it right.
Do our birthdays count? Do our birthdays count as roasts?
No, because I can't remember if we got roasted or not. Well, we got roasted.
Oh, well, that's
in one definition. We definitely got roasted.
Type of roasted. But like, yeah, no, honestly, roasts, they kind of went away for a while. They were awesome. They were funny because they said the things people thought. You know what I mean? They just threw it out there, and it was supposed to be a funny thing. You know what I mean?
She wants to say hi to you.
Aww.
So that is Piper. I don't know if you can see her on the wide angle. You may or may not be able to.
You might catch her head.
But that's Piper. That's my my black and white Boston Terrier. That's our first Boston Terrier we got.
By the way, dogs love me.
Dog. Oh, yeah, they do.
Dogs.
Because you taste like wieners. Hey, you are what you eat. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, hold on.
Burr, burr, burr,
Hold on.
Come on, do it. Oh, there we go.
You have your own soundboard right now.
Yeah, but
You
it's
could
not
be
the
doing
same
that.
one. I don't think. I
I think you have a
it.
trombone on there. But yeah, see, there you go.
See, that's weird because it's not shaped like a trombone on the actual app. It's not
Hey,
anatomically correct.
You went to college.
Yeah, yes, I did.
You're supposed to read. Although,
What do you mean
for our
read?
jobs,
There's no reading. It's pictures.
oh, you're right.
It's pictures.
You're right.
There's
I
no
forgot.
reading.
There's no reading. I forgot.
I'm
yours is-
guessing here. So, like, I've got something that looks like.
What the hell is that?
I think it's a Sasquatch.
Hey,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the Kentucky Derby.
I'm
That was a
losing
good one.
erectile
Oh, you had some ED
or
going on?
tile dysfunction.
Some mic tile dysfunction.
Dude, that's weird. You see that thing going?
No, I didn't.
So don't mind it. You might want to mute my mic.
I'm gonna lower your mic down. But apparently, Eric is having a little bit of problems with his mic because his boom doesn't want to work right.
No, it's not the boom. It just keeps sliding off the table.
Hey, maybe if you set it up right.
You set this one up.
Oh, but you moved it. No, but
Keep talking.
yeah, no. Roast used to be an actual big thing, and it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, they were awesome because it was people talking about things that they wanted to say. that
I
they
think we're
wanted
good
to
now.
say.
That was weird. It like all of a sudden it just started moving again. I don't know if I might have put it in. I might have put it in too far last time.
Stop being an idiot with your boom mic.
I can't help it. I'm a bike mic and
I don't know if idiots, but I don't know if you read the whole the Star Wars script on the first episode.
no.
But it might have been the second episode. Whatever. I obviously watch our videos,
Yeah. Well, I do too.
but
That's why I don't ever sleep because I'm like, oh, it's
A new one
Wednesday.
came
It
out.
popped out. I'm gonna have to watch this for 2.5 hours after being up all night at work.
Well, the second one came out on Wednesday. I think they're coming out on Thursdays.
Are they Thursday mornings now?
I think they're coming out on Thursday mornings now.
That's what happens when you work a midnight shift. You don't even know
You don't
what
even
day
know what
it
day
is.
it is.
Like
you go in on Wednesday.
I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, I got to jump in, pay some bills. Man, I can't wait till I get paid tomorrow. And I was like, it's tomorrow. I got paid.
It's already tomorrow.
Let's look up Harley parts to make it faster than a Indian. Oh, man, $7,000. Screw that.
Hey, or you could just buy an Indian that is already fast.
Yeah, that's
From the
$30,000
beginning.
though.
True.
When you think about it, yeah, I only owe like 10 G's on my bike yet. It'll be paid off in a year and a half. So there's no reason for me to do too much
bad.
to it. No, I paid it off in 3.5 years.
That's actually really good.
Yeah. I paid extra
mean-
every month just to try to knock it out because I'm eligible to retire in a year. I'm going to work for 4 more years, but I'm eligible to retire in a year. So.
Hey, but if you guys like us enough, maybe he can retire early and do this full time.
I would absolutely do this full time and leave in 1 year, 1 month, and 19 days. I am not counting though.
No, not at all.
Every day it's like, one
Mine are
more
too
day
too many
closer.
days to count.
Yeah.
Mine are way too many days to count.
Yeah, he
'Cause
sucks.
I'm basically
Just like the vacuum.
that's
He
what that
sucks
was.
like the vacuum. Ba-doom.
That's what that was.
Where's my ba-doom?
Oh, hold on.
Come on, do it.
Wrong button. Hit the wrong button. My
It
bad.
happens. It happens. Sometimes you hit the wrong spot.
Hey, that's what she said.
Huh. Sometimes. But no, I mean it. We're in a great situation here that our agency has a phenomenal retirement.
They
So
really
we'll both. I mean, the only thing that stinks for Ubi is that I'm 10 years ahead of him.
do. Yeah. Which you're 10 years older, so it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because your retirement eligible age is what?
48.
Mine's 47. So I came in a year earlier than you, so I'm a little bit earlier out. But
Depending
It's-
on the date.
it's- it-
I mean, it's
we're
it
within
could
a-
be 6
we're
months.
within a year.
Within a year. It's
you
the
know,
same
a
thing.
year to at that point, a couple of months doesn't really matter, honestly.
No.
But we're both in a good situation that we can make this thing bloom, make it grow. That's kind of my whole plan. Like when I retire, with my retirement that I have, I don't have to work. I will do something to stay busy because otherwise idle minds are not good with me. I will do all sorts of dumb things if I have time to do it.
We already do that.
Well, yeah,
So
and I don't have a lot. If I had
I was gonna say,
10 times the amount of
extra
time, oh my God, could you imagine how
That'd just
dumb
be
this would be?
But honestly, like we said, if you guys make this happen, hey,
I'll
Eric
bail
will
out.
retire early.
I'll leave next year.
I mean, I'm still going to work, but that means we have more time to do this.
And there's no reason for you not to work. You've got to make it to your pension date.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason not to.
And that's the thing. As long as I hit my 20 years, which for my 20 years is going to be...
Still sliding, dude.
I mean, we're just not strong enough.
Well, I did bent the freaking little tightening arm, but I just think we'll adjust fire.
Maybe just not adjust it too much.
Yeah, I think we're good.
But no, I mean, I'm more than halfway to my retirement. But you know, if we make this a big thing, I can do my
handle.
I can do my 20 year.
I have it mounted right on the handle.
That makes sense.
But yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean,
we can make this and we can make this more than a one podcast a week thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, and even then, even if we start getting closer to that point, we might be able to make this more than one podcast.
Oh,
a week
absolutely.
thing because, you know, Eric's not going to be so worried about it. He'll be able to, hey, you know what? Screw it. I'll take an extra day off this week.
Yeah.
Or
I'm not
if you start making enough money, hey, you'll come to day shift with me.
Well, that's the other thing. So I would absolutely do a day shift. I've been on midnights for the last 6-7 years. So like I literally, you know, I'm literally a zombie
for that long. I did it for 3 years straight. I was struggling.
You do it because you have to. That's the whole tenet of law enforcement in general. Is you do it because you have to.
So to be honest, I mean, those are the two shifts I could work right now.
Yeah, nights
because I have kids.
Yeah,
like it's either I could work day shift.
I don't
which
like my
I've been
children.
lucky.
So.
That's a lie. That's a huge lie.
I did bring my daughter sushi. Was it last week sometime?
Yeah.
So I did bring her sushi. So yeah,
and I'm sure you will do it again.
And I left it on the fender of the Jeep. So you guys might get actual access to the funny clip of me going, me realizing that I left the sushi
left it on the
out.
Jeep?
Yeah, out. Yeah.
Well, think about
Not
it.
bueno.
We'll probably have put that by the time this comes out. We'll probably have put that on Patreon, maybe, because we do have a Patreon also. So if you guys would like to support us, we have a Patreon. Same thing, Bikes, Bikes, and Idiots. If you guys would love to support us, that'd be awesome. We can start putting up at the end of the podcast. These are our supporters from Patreon. You know, so we can also do that as well.
Yep.
Once we start getting some more supporters on Patreon, but we have that as well. So, and that's going to be your early access, honestly.
Yeah.
When we start putting out more stuff, that's our bloopers, essentially.
Which there's a lot of them. Oh my God! When we were trying to
cut our
sponsor spots, because we're idiots, we didn't write it down. We're like, oh, we got this, no problem. It'll be easy. But I do have to say, when you and I looked at each other and said, we've got it this time.
Yeah.
We hammered it. We knocked it out of the park.
Finally.
And I'm sure we'll adjust
Only
it later
took like
on and
7
adjust
clicks.
fire as we go. But, you know, I always do have to thank our sponsors, even though this is not the normal sponsor spot. Thank you, Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, for sponsoring us, and
Sketchy Alias.
Yep.
He's been a huge supporter. On top of just being a sponsor, he's been a huge supporter.
Yes.
He's very proactive with us. He wants to do things with us. So
he's watched a couple of our reels and just been like, "Oh my God, you guys are so hilariously stupid," which fits in with us. That's our whole point. I mean,
that's what we do.
If we don't have a good time and you guys don't have a good time, there's no point in doing this.
And even then, honestly, if they don't
I'm still going to do it anyway.
I was going to say, even if they don't have a good time, we have a good time doing this. We have a good time just hanging around, talking stuff to each other, talking crap to each other on a regular basis. I mean, we're going to do this regardless. So it's not really for them. It's more for us.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It's therapy. But it doesn't hurt when therapy is good for you guys too as well. So we hope it reaches out and touches something in your psyche that makes you feel good or makes you have a good time. And
I hope you were going a certain way with touching somebody, because
when I think about you, I touch myself.
Yeah, awkward. But yeah,
only if it's not you being touched. Oh, sorry.
Hey.
And we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, the Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, by the Chicago Police Department.
They have many chapters throughout the United States and international. We are part of the Tucson chapter, and Eric is actually national president, and he got to go visit our international brothers down in Italy.
And moved on and saw some friends that we met in Italy and Qatar. But we're a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on law enforcement and first responder families in their times of need, whether it be a death, financial issue. We're there to help support our brothers and sisters in blue.
Yep. Anything they need or their families need, we usually try to help out anything we can, any way we can, financially, or even if it's just moral support, being there for them, being able to help them out with anything they need or we can do for them.
So if you're interested in donating to the Legion of St. Michael, reach out to any of the chapters through us, through our many social media profiles that we have set up.
Being Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, YouTube, or Rumble. Any one of those, you can reach out to us, or you can reach out to us on our email, bikesmikesandidiots@gmail.com, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can so you can help us out and do whatever you can.
And once again, thank you to Legion of St. Michael as a founding member.
Well, my bad. Yeah. My bad. That was my SOS kicking in.
So
if anyone doesn't know that I have SOS.
If you down like this one, that's okay. We get it.
We totally
If you don't like this one, we get this.
Totally,
and it's all his fault.
Yeah, I accept all the blame for that one because holy crap, that was sorry.
Well, you know, I just realized something.
I don't know if you guys know this, but my whole mind is
on a nonstop
basis.
Now, I don't know if you realize this. I just did. Your mug matches your mic.
Ooh,
I literally just realized that when you went to take a drink.
Hey, it's almost like I'm on the dark side.
It's a little bit off, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, no.
It's a pretty, as we say in the artistic world, it's a pretty close hue.
Oh, look at you over here being college educated. Artistic. College educated.
Kind of.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
not a good,
I have a degree, but
actually a pretty good college. It's kind of hanging up in the back there. I mean, that's my college. Don't look at that. Don't look at that thing.
That's not a big deal. But no, like, I mean, that's why we do this, is to be able to bring people in. Hopefully, like, you guys like understand where we're coming from, are able to relate to what we do, what we're doing, why we're doing this. Because realistically, we do this for you guys. We do it for us, but we do it for you guys a little bit too.
Yep.
Because, like I said, from our intros, from our original thing, that's my main focus, is if it can help one person, we did our job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If we help one person be able to relieve their stress from work, be able to do whatever it is that gets them to de-stress, gets them to be able to relieve themselves a little bit. Just then we did our job. Because, like, you're peer support at work.
Yes, I am.
Which
basically, I'm there, been trained to deal with awareness for people who are going through difficult times. We get a lot of latitude to assist people who are going through different types of things with family. I'm dealing with one right now that really impacted us. I'm trying to do this without giving any details because I don't do that.
And I see you
so
thinking
as
about it. I see you
as
thinking
peer
through it.
support, we have a confidentiality clause that has been backed up by our clinical our clinicians, actually not clinical clinicians, our clinicians that allows us
Big
to
words.
be able to talk to people and have a confidentiality clause that has actually stood up in court multiple times. So I've talked to people about their deepest, darkest scares, their things that have been bothering them, and you learn to look at people and talk to them and do the best that you can do to help them out in their time of need. Everything from substance abuse to taking their own lives. So those are things that we intervene in and try to help out with, and that's a lot of this. I mean, if you can save one person, then you've done well. I've had people that I've been unable to save, unfortunately. But
And I'm sure that weighs
it's difficult.
on you.
Oh, it's difficult.
I'm sure that weighs on you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like, so I'm also a union steward. So, and that kind of plays into it a little bit.
Yep.
It's kind of in that same realm a little.
Do your best to help, and then
You do your best to help.
Some
Yeah.
people you can't help.
Some people are their own worst enemies. I mean,
And I'm in management, which you wouldn't
Yeah.
think a manager and a union steward would get together for a podcast. But
exactly.
But we've all said the same thing. Like when we talk about a collective bargaining agreement, or
Yeah.
which is every union has some sort of
Yeah.
bargaining agreement with their managers. That's built by union and managers as something that we come together and agree upon. And as long as we're following that, life's good.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like most people don't actually follow that, and that's what makes work hard. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what kind of work you do, that makes work hard.
Yep.
For whatever kind of work you do, it makes work hard when your management doesn't still having issues.
No, I think it's good. Every time you keep moving your elbow, though, it's bouncing.
It wiggles.
Yeah. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. He works out.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. He has his moments too.
Yeah.
He has SOS as well,
Yes.
but his isn't as bad as mine. But
Mine's just funnier.
No, like mine's just more random.
Yeah.
But no, like it when management doesn't follow those rules, it makes it hard to work. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
and
Well,
I'm
and
glad.
when-
I'm
And on our
honestly-
side, when guys don't do their jobs,
Yeah,
and you
there's
have
that-
to come down on them.
No,
You know,
and you're
yeah.
not wrong. You're not wrong at all, because it is true. And in any kind of job you have, it's going to be the same kind of thing. It's the same thing throughout whatever professional, quote unquote, professional environment.
90% of your workers, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And then of those 10%, 5% have problems.
Yeah.
And then 5% are the problem makers.
Yes.
And I just made
that's-
up all those statistics on the spot because that's
But
what
you
you
know
do
what,
with
though?
statistics.
You know what, though?
I don't think it's too far off.
Wait, what was your statistic fact?
98.6.5% of statistics are made up on the spot.
0.5 on
Yeah.
top of the 0.6.
96.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like honestly, he's
we're
not
morons.
really too far off.
Yeah.
Because it's probably really close to those numbers. 90% of the people you really don't have to worry about. They're
Close
normal
enough
people.
for government work, right?
Hey.
Boom.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like that's kind of what it is. You have that small percentage that causes problems. You have that small percentage that does actually have real problems.
Yep.
And that's why I'm glad I applaud you for what you do for the peer support thing, because it means a big thing, because we've had people that have lost people, and you're in the middle of work and you hear from them like, oh, such and such person in my family, extended family, whatever, these person just passed away. And you're like, hey, go take care of yourself, because
Take
you
care
know
of
what?
business. What do you need? Let us know when you're coming back.
Exactly. And that's why, like, on
Easy
the
enough.
union side of it, it's like I'm on that same page. It's like, you take care of what you need to do. If you have a problem, if something's going on, whatever, we're going to be here to help you, to protect you from management overreach.
Yeah.
And the same thing with peer support. It's kind of in that same realm where you're you're there to help them out in their time of need.
Yes.
And that plays into, again, why we're in the motorcycle club we are in.
Yes.
And why we do what we do, and why we kind of do this podcast as well, because hopefully we can help some people out and be like, hey, this is our outlet.
Yeah.
For us. Also, this is the outlet for hopefully other people, because...
Well, exactly. I mean, it's something we talk about really, really big in peer support is having, having hobbies and things outside of work that aren't related to work.
Yeah.
So all the stuff we do with the MC, short of I have an approval at work to be the national president, because... Nope, I turned it the other way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know these were going to be the other way.
See, my drink's pointed towards me. This guy, I tell you. So short of, I have an approval at work to be the national president of the LEMC, because we deal with certain amounts of money, et cetera, et cetera. But I went through the proper channels and got approval, so that they're like, yeah, okay, good to go. You're fine. You're good to do this. Other than that, work knows nothing about what I do in my off time.
What I do
in my off time. So I separate. I am very good, and I think some of it comes with the amount of time I've been in. Yeah, I've had 24 years in 24 years in service. So I have a very, very easy time of separating work from home. Like, for me, it's super easy. It's like, oh, work's done. Bye. And then, I mean, that doesn't mean I don't answer work calls. If somebody has a question, I will still do that. I'm not going to leave anybody hanging, but I don't focus on work as the primary number one anymore. I mean, and I'm a year from retirement. Yeah, it's time for my family.
And that's it should have been time for your family the whole time.
Yeah.
Honestly,
like, it didn't work out that way, though.
But if we're being honest, you know what I mean? Like, and that, I think I said that originally, of like, being able to work.
Moving, or am I just like losing my
mind? I think you're just losing your mind.
Okay. Yeah.
But being able to separate,
just another brick in the wall.
We work to live. Mm-hmm. We don't live to work.
And once again, on Bikes, Mics, and Idiots, we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, Sketchy Alias. He's a freelance graphic designer from Arizona who specializes in vector-based artwork. I'm an idiot. I don't know what that means, but it's really cool. He's been working on design for over 15 years and has worked in everything from logos, apparel, design, and social media. He's made a phenomenal logo for us, and he is, like I said, one of our founding sponsors.
Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that technical difficulties.
As always.
Well, that's why it's called
Bikes, Mics,
and Idiots.
Yep.
And
well, you know, it's a whole new home studio too, so we're trying to figure things out. So we think for now I fixed it with literally some strip sandpaper. Thank you very much.
I never should have given him that board.
Nope.
Should have never done it. But on to a new topic, I guess, at this point.
I don't even know where we were.
Yeah. Working on cars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, wait. That was Jim's car. Why, you can't wear rings no more?
Oh, yeah. I'm busting a finger on it. So we're putting a lift kit on his Jeep, and one of the rear springs wasn't settling just right. So I said, hey, man, I need you to release the pressure on the axle. And so he started lowering it, and I started adjusting it, and then he starts pumping it up. He put like 3 or 4 pumps on it, and the spring shot out of the spring hold and slammed my hand into the gas tank. And it hit my ring finger so hard, to be honest, I yelled a lot of expletives. Yes, that's my... I swore really bad. So that's what I'm going to go with on that one. So I I yelled a lot, and he finally dropped the axle gun after putting 2 or 3 extra pumps on it and putting some more pressure on my finger.
What kind of things did you say?
So I went
I'm sure you
inside real
sounded
quick.
like that.
You probably. Oh no, it was probably high pitched.
demonic
It was
sounding.
probably the high pitched.
Oh my god, the pump's on my finger. It's broken.
So
It might have been close to that too.
probably. So I went in and I could feel it throbbing through my ring. So I ran inside real quick, got some dish detergent, put it around my finger, and
Dish
yanked my
detergent.
ring off. Yes, I'm not trying
Not
to use
detergent.
brands.
Not detergent,
No,
but
dish detergent. Dish detergent. And got the ring off. Well, after it stopped throbbing, I realized, oh, I can't get my ring out anymore. So it literally, I haven't been able to put it on since. So I got to get it resized. That's something I'm waiting to do here. So I'll do it here in the near future. Next time I get time off, which
Hey,
is
one
not
day you'll be
happening.
married again.
Yeah, there's between that and you're in somebody's house at Bike Week.
That was actually a good. That was actually a good portion.
There's been some tumultuous times in the household.
Tumultuous.
You like that?
Tumultuous is actually a pretty good
That's
word too.
not a bad word.
It isn't.
So we have
Just
to
like
conversate about
conversate.
that word,
Just like conversate
Yes.
and across.
and I'll cheer you about I'll cheer you across the table.
Across.
I said across,
Oh, look at
but
you.
across is actually a word though, because we did look that up too, and that one was actually correct.
Across was actually a word
Yes, it was
with a T.
across with a D.
Yeah,
I'm saying
across.
AC.
A-C.
I'm not saying across.
R-O-S-S-E-D.
I'm saying across.
No, you
a D.
you would say across
Quiet
with
your
a
mouth.
T.
Quiet your mouth.
And across. Across isn't really a word. There's
No,
no
really.
past. There's no past tense of across.
Yes, I went across the river.
There's no past tense of across. That's the problem. There's no
No,
past tense of across.
It's yeah, it is. Look it up.
There is no past tense of across. Hold on.
ACROSSED, across.
There is no across. Across isn't actually a word. Across is
ACROSSED, across.
Oh wait, crossed. It's it. Oh, caps lock.
Past participle.
I don't even know if that.
Across.
I'm making that up.
It took me to Urban Dictionary. So probably not a word. Hold on. Let's
Webster Medium.
let's do some actual example. She ran across to say hello. Do not use across, crossed, or across with a T. There's only one S though, as a preposition or adverb. The word across, ed, and across with a T, like you say, are strictly non-standard.
Non-standard.
But acceptable by me.
I'm going with it. Be quiet.
I mean, it is funny, but like I said prior, it is.
it's just how I speak.
But it is though, and like I said, being down here, it's not a normal thing for people that grew up down here, any of that kind of thing. It's like a Midwest / northeastern thing.
It's a mixture of Canadian English and American English.
Those damn Canucks.
Je parle un peu de français.
Negative.
No, I said I speak a little français.
You speak
If
a
I
little
asked,
Francais.
if I asked you, it would be tu parles français.
Oh, look at you!
Or-
Look at you being
or
educated in
sprechen Sie
multiple
Deutsch?
languages. Ooh, you're trilingual. Mm-hmm. No, you're not.
No,
You just know. You just know.
I know
a-
key. I know
you
like
a
one
thing.
statement in every language.
I wouldn't say every language.
Oh yeah, make one up.
Japanese.
Nope, I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna be nothing but bad. It's gonna be
Cantonese?
nothing but bad. Oh nope, I can't do that one either.
Mandarin.
Nope. Now I just stop. Because it's gonna sound bad no matter what I say. I'm gonna
Swiss?
make something up. It's English. They speak English
No, they don't.
or Deutsch. Actually,
speak
in Swiss they
Deutsch.
speak German.
Yeah, there you go. See. So you might know that one.
I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
Either way, let's move on. To
Moving
the
on
next,
to
moving
the
on
next
to the next
stupidity.
topic. So working on cars,
Yes.
like we had gotten into with you dropping that finger. So me and
Dropping
Damien, Me and Damien the other day we were talking about, because he has a 68, I believe, 68 Camaro. I've talked to him about it. We've talked a few times about it. And I was like, let me know when you want to work on it. We'll work on it. I'll help you work on this thing.
Yeah.
Granted, not trying to have your finger situation, but I love working on cars. Like, that's just, I think it's a guy thing of just fixing things and making things run again, doing that kind of thing. That's a guy thing.
Yes.
And you enjoy it. It makes you fit in your soul.
Yes.
And
you might swear a lot while you're doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
And every car has at least 5-10 millimeter sockets hidden somewhere in it.
Like John said prior. Oh. Every job is one stripped bolt away from being like a
2-day job, yeah.
A 4-day adventure.
So I will honestly say I do have drills and taps in my toolkits.
Why?
Because I have, like I said in my bio, I tend to over tighten things and then I have to repair them because I can use another half turn, and after about a quarter turn it goes, and that's it. That's all she wrote. I just broke the damn bolt head off.
You're not supposed to use a breaker bar.
No, that's just my man paws.
We're comparing hands.
Yes, we're comparing hands.
He just got sausage fingers.
And big old wrists that are like twice the size of his. Yeah, he has little girly wrists.
I have small joints. Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't deny that. That's just how I'm.
Just remember,
I'm not fat. I'm just big brown.
There you go. So that brings me into like. So there's this whole trend.
My children are no different. Both of my children are big.
Your daughter's not.
Same age as your boy. She's taller than your boy.
Hold on. Okay, let me exact
cheers.
my phrasing.
Let's cheers this first because it's going to get ugly.
No, it's not
talking about my children.
It's not going to get ugly. Your daughter is big for her age. Yeah. Like, she looks older than she is.
Yes, she does.
Not in like she's big.
No, and I'm older. Going to.
Oh, absolutely. I will help you. Oh. We have places where we can hide them.
Yep. That was a high five. And you know what we're going to use?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. She looks older than she is. She's not big. No. She looks older than she is.
My boy.
That's what it is.
Your
boy is big. Not big as in fat.
He's 6'2", 235.
Holy
age
crap.
17, 15 shoe. Just he's.
And you were giving me crap one day about my shoe size. Well, his size his size 4 shoe would fit great on my.
Yeah.
Your floorboards are tiny, by the way.
Oh my God, they're terrible. I hate them. That's the only like. Did you notice how my highway bars are set up on my bike so I can put my heels on the floorboards and my feet on the highway bars? They're comfortable. I mean, I've made it comfortable for me.
Exactly.
But that's one of the things I got to change out is bigger floorboards. Before I do a $7,000 122 kit, I'm doing
make it comfortable before you're going to be going. And I think miles an hour.
I think ultimately, I won't touch that motor unless it blows up again. And at that point, it doesn't matter. Whatever. At that point, it's going to be what it is.
Let's bring a new one in.
So looking at the Harleys, like the 131, the 135 kit are great motor kits. They're phenomenal kits.
Yeah.
Lots of high horsepower. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can do to these bikes. But I don't like the high revving. The whole point is I travel like Angry
Distance.
Jim. Yeah. Angry Jim, he's a point A to point B fast as he can go. Like I
have a little story about that one.
Wow. But my whole goal is I want to be long distance. I want to in that torque curve most of the time where
you want to be able to have usable power.
Yes. And I don't think riding in fifth gear at 60 miles an hour, like you're killing your fuel mileage. You're ultimately
I could do that and be comfortable
you're wearing
still.
Stuff out. I mean, you can, but
No, but like on mine, it's just the way the
gearing
that
is.
also has to do
It's all
gearing.
gearing.
It has a little to do gearing, but like I said, Angry Jim,
Like his is he has to rev it. He has to be above 4 Gs or he starts screwing it up. It starts fouling plugs. It doesn't run right, and I don't want that. I want the longevity of the long ride, and because I do long rides.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
how many times have you and I done long rides since? And I mean, and
Yeah.
we're not even doing the big ones until
No.
July for our national meet.
Not
so
even close.
That's going to be a long ride.
It's gonna be fun though.
So you, me, and Jake have to get together and start. We are planning it. We are not leaving planning to Angry Jim. Not happening.
He has been.
He likes to wait till the last minute and then be like, "Why didn't you guys do anything?"
Yeah, he has been demoted from any type of planning.
No planning for you.
No
my
planning
friend.
for him, because
Ooh, that was
his
loud.
planning is. Why don't you guys do this yet?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're not doing that.
So we'll take care of it. We'll do that probably next. We'll figure it out.
We need to do that soon. Honestly,
Yeah,
we need to
sooner
do that
than
soon.
later
Yeah,
because I want to start getting hotel reservations.
because we can start doing planning.
And I did adjust my
And you know
hotels
what?
up there.
Honestly, for that whole trip, just to save a little bit of money, I wouldn't be upset at we
leave
one
Monday.
room. No, but I'm saying we get one room
the three of
per
us
night.
sleep in
Yeah,
it.
and we just
And I'm national president,
just
so
to
I get
sleep.
the bed. It's beautiful.
hey, we get a twin bed. I'll
You can
sleep on
sleep
the same
on
bed.
top
I
of
don't
me.
care. We'll cuddle.
If I take your temperature in the middle of the night, I'm sorry.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well, it depends what kind of thermometer you use.
Oh wait, I got a thing for that.
Oh yeah. And they are both sufficient.
They both work for
Yep.
that situation.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, it's going to be a long ride. You get your 1,000-mile patch,
Yeah,
which is
there you
amazing.
go.
But it's 1,700 miles.
Which that's
Give or
the crazy
take a
thing.
few
The
each
the
way.
whole 1,000-mile patch thing. So most places, most clubs, all that kind of thing, they do 1,000-mile patch because you're, let's say let's just put it right at the round numbers. 500 miles. You're 500 miles out. You ride 500 miles there. You ride 500 miles back, and you're good.
Yep.
Or you're 500 miles out from wherever you're going.
Yep.
You drop, you ride the rest of the way, and then you ride at least 500 miles back. Or you ride to 1,000 miles out.
Yep.
And you ride those 1,000 miles, and you can trail it the whole way back, and it's good. Our club now made it to where it's not acceptable.
Point A, point B has to be at least 1,000 miles.
Yeah, and that makes it a little harder. So I feel like my patch is more deserved. Well, granted, you're going to do the same thing with us anyway,
I've
so it
done it
doesn't
like-
really matter.
Well, I've done it 3 times now, twice now, two times now. I've quote unquote earned that patch twice now already. So
I mean, it doesn't really matter because you're
This will be
riding
number
with us.
3, yeah.
You're riding it with us
Hey.
anyway, so
as a president, I need to ride with my people.
there you go.
That's part of it. I understand we need to pull some bikes. We need to have a trailer because any long trip you do, there's always the possibility you slice a tire on something on the road, somebody goes down. We need to have the ability to have a safety vehicle, and that's always a good
absolutely.
thing.
Anytime
Or-
you're doing a long ride,
Or like
regardless.
with Damien the last time, he had an allergic attack partway through, and we just were like, we stopped at a light, and he's like, I can't see. We're like, oh, okay, because none of us could hear because we've been riding so long. None of us could hear. We're like, oh, okay. We went to the next stop, and he was like, he literally told us, I was driving by Braille. I listened to you guys in the exhaust in my ears and just hoped that I had one that fit.
That's
Like, oh
that-
God.
that's
We're like, well, we couldn't hear
not the
you.
good
Sorry.
spot. Not the good
And,
spot. to
and
be.
that's where we've gone with communicators for our club that we have.
absolutely
All the guys on this ride so far
Yeah.
have helmet comms that cross talk,
And-
so we're going to
and-
be able to talk to each other. Like we're going to kind of throw out a rule, like we're not just sitting here to jabber. It's
Yeah.
the only time we want you to talk is when there's something important.
when there's something to
Otherwise,
do, or
just listen to music, or you're like, hey, let's stop here to do this, or let's,
like what me and Jake did last ride, where it was me and him would communicate every once in a while. We'd go
Hey, everything
so many
good?
miles.
Yeah.
Everything good? Cool. Okay.
Yep.
That's it. Just a check in.
I just got to figure out where my mute. I think the mute button's the one on the top. top. But
Yeah, the one on the top, you gotta push it for a certain amount of time.
and it'll
I'll
beep,
show you how to
it
do
beeps
it.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But and then it mutes my mic, so it doesn't affect
Yeah.
you guys.
Exactly.
And then because I'm going to listen to my music and have my visor up and all that stuff.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
My
too.
stereo's loud enough to listen to it.
So it was a funny story. When me and Jake were trying to figure it out, we were having issues with our mic buttons,
Of course.
and so
Well,
after
let's
we had done
start with the initial test that you and I did. It was
that was terrible.
failed miserably. They wouldn't connect. Yours wouldn't turn on. This way.
Yeah, it was just we couldn't get them to work, and
Which is something we suggest to everybody before you go on a long ride. And we're
Absolutely.
going to do it again. Right before we go on our ride, like the week before, we're going to test our gear.
absolutely.
We'll get together. Hey, make sure these fit. Let's check for firmware updates. We're going to make sure everybody's up to date.
Yep.
And then, okay, we're good. Test. Hey, you hear me? You hear me? You hear me? Okay, good to go. We're good.
Absolutely, because that's the last thing you want to happen is while you're riding and something's going on, and then you're just like
You have to
I
revert to the
can't-
crazy hand signals.
Oh yeah, you're
Actually, most of my hand signals aren't too bad. Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ridden behind you?
No, I haven't. That's
That's
the
the
joy of
problem.
being the national president. I ride in the front.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. We're going to be doing that. And like we said, we suggest, we suggest absolutely testing out your gear before you do it, because that's a big thing. Like safety, absolutely first.
Yeah.
Because we've had issues with that before. And it's like, you don't want to be on a ride with a bunch of people and one person has to pull off and no one knows about it, or only two people know about it because it's the last people in the group.
Or like the situation we had where everybody stopped, we got gas, we get rolling again, and then one of the guys is like, hey, I got to change out my glasses to the clear ones now. It was 10 minutes till sundown. We're driving eastbound. The sun's behind us. Why did you not change to your clear lenses? Like,
Yeah. You don't wanna
honestly,
be doing
sometimes
that
you
kind of
have to
thing.
do that and be like, guys, clear lenses. But all of us have helmets that have the shades in
do.
them, and so I mean that's the nice thing about having the shades inside the helmets that they drop down.
Oh, yeah.
Only problem is they're hard to clean. So I got to
They
make
are.
sure I clean mine really good before I go, because I know mine's not as clean as it probably should be right now.
My windshield isn't clean at all.
Oh, we've
My
got,
windshield is terrible right now.
yeah, I caught a big June bug on the way to breakfast or to lunch, and I really didn't need to eat lunch, but you know,
Hey, it's never bad to eat twice.
no.
No, but going off of the bike thing, because
Yeah, back to
like I said, we don't want to make this just a motorcycle or bike podcast. We really don't want that to be the case. So there's a whole trend going on, and I think it's
I'm rolling
I think
my
it's
eyes
dumb.
at you.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that.
No.
I think it's dumb, but it's a very big thing right now. And we're already going to be a little late to this, so it's would you rather be with a bear or a man in the woods?
A bear.
Why?
Because I've seen what a man in the woods will do to another man.
We're not talking about that kind of.
Oh, not that kind of with.
Like, would you rather be with a bear or a man? Like, honestly, I think that's.
Well, the bear's easier to kill and eat.
But
Eating people's kind of weird.
yeah, people
If you
got
gotta do
arrested
it
for that.
Like, I don't want to really eat long pig.
People have been arrested for that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm not big on that either. But
But you
If you
can
think about it, though.
collaborate, share resources. I mean,
yes, that's where I was going with it, because I think as a guy, you think you more think that way.
Yeah.
Hey, I have another guy with me. It's going to be probably a friend of mine. It's going to
well,
be
it's companionship, it's shared resources, shared work. I mean, there's a lot that goes with it. So I'd rather be with the dude.
you just said bear.
I know.
But if we're being honest, I
Being
would
honest,
rather
I'd rather
have
be
the
with a guy. So if I
So,
had a
but-
choice to being with you or a bear, I'd be like, hey, I need Ubi because I know he's tasty.
Resourceful.
Oh no, yeah, resourceful. I mean,
Oh yeah, sure.
but no,
No,
I mean, it makes sense because like with two people, like you don't realize in a survival situation how much work it takes. Especially, and depending on a lot of it depends on temperature, access to water.
Yes.
You know, but in the woods, if you're talking woods, we're talking like there's probably water because trees don't grow without water.
Yes.
You've probably got some sort of food source, but even like gathering, most woods, rabbits, grubs. If you turn it over, I mean, you've got to really think there's food sources in the woods. If like I grew up in the woods in the Adirondacks, so I can survive very well in the wilderness.
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness. But I mean, you know, the things that you think about are just gathering wood to stay warm is almost a full-time job. I mean, it takes a lot of, especially depending on how much deadfall there is, how much brush you've got, you know, and what you came with prepared in the woods. It changes the scenario really big. I don't think I'd want to be with a bear in the woods because the bear's going to look at me and be like, lunch.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. But this topic is more of a, it's more of a, like, it's more contextual, I guess.
I look at practical. This contextual stuff doesn't really appeal to me.
Because it's a woman thing. Because
do I look like a woman to you? Well,
I mean,
it is Thursday.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but no, it's more tended towards a woman thing, and the majority of women have said they'd rather be with a bear. They would rather be with a bear in the woods. If they're alone in the woods, they'd rather be with a bear.
And you know why? Because they've never survived in the woods before.
I mean, there's that too, but they see it as their perception of it is going to be that they're seeing it as the bear's not going to be as much of a threat as a man in the woods.
No, I get that, but at the same time, we
just went dark. We went dark.
Every road, every cell tower, every stoplight, most vehicles have been built by men. If you're in the woods with a bear, the bear's going to eat you and poop. The men's going to try to build something to make it better.
So, but that's the thing. So
now that's coming from the conceptualization of a man.
Popular topics now is what it is. And you're thinking like an old school person. Mm-hmm. Not trying to say that.
I am old.
Me too. But besides the
and
point,
you know what? Guess when everything was built?
In the old days?
Yeah.
In the good old days?
What's been built recently?
Technology? AI?
By who?
Retarded people? Man. Oh. I wasn't going that direction, but okay. Yeah, I mean, technically, yes.
Bill Gates?
But
Jeff Bezos?
The reason I was going down that
Elon
road was
Musk?
like people that's been a topic. That's been a dumb thing that's been pushed out.
I absolutely get it.
But women
I look
right
at it,
now
I look at it as a practical sense. And I think you're right. The women don't look at it as a practical sense. They look at what they feel.
Yeah. Men are more logical in their thought process.
Well, you just cut half of our viewership out. Nice work.
And I'm not meaning that disparagingly. That's an actual statistical fact. Men are more logical in their thought process.
Men and women naturally think differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a natural thing.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why they've said that is because of that. Because it's like they think they'd be safer with a bear, and it's like
that tells me that the people they asked lived in L.A. and went to a zoo once where a bear was sitting down playing with a ball. Because if you've ever seen real bears in the
They're
wild, which I
insane.
have, they will kill the hell out of you quick.
With no second thought. They're
No.
going to be there, and they're just going to attack.
Gone.
They're just going to have
So,
you.
I mean, you have to look at it is where was this taking place? Where were they asking people? It's like every poll. Any poll you
Oh,
do
no, it is.
is going to be skewed by the way you ask the question,
But
where
this-
you ask the question, who you ask the question of,
But this is a social media thing. This has become real popular.
which is
And
why
like
I
I said,
don't follow
we're late
social
on
media.
it. We're late on it. We're late on
Yeah.
it because we're old. So it's like we caught the back end of it. But women believe that they'd be safer with a bear, and that's from every man that I know. And maybe it's just because of what we do and the type of people that we are. Men are gonna be that type. They're gonna be the protectors. They're gonna try to
Yes.
do that kind of thing. Whereas I think the guys that they're thinking of are guys that are like, I'm looking out for number one. That's me.
Well,
and
And what they're thinking of is, oh, you've got a bear that's a predator and a guy that's a predator. A
Yeah.
guy's smarter predator than a bear.
maybe that's a
So, I mean, you have the whole context of the question, where you ask, who you ask it to, et cetera, has to all play into that. So
no. You're right.
it's kind of a loaded question, to be
It
honest.
is. But I figured I'd bring it up because it was the topical thing.
It's
you
like
know?
it's like if an Indian sits in a driveway and doesn't fall over, is it really an Indian?
Or is it Ubi's Indian?
Or is it a specific Indian? No, I mean, I get the question. I think those kind of things, like I get it, it's a trend.
Yeah.
I get it. Is it really something that anybody who really has any clue about wilderness, etc.? Like if you ask the same question to people who live in Maine,
That actually
Northeast
deal with this kind
Maine.
of thing on a regular basis.
who deal with moose, bears, badgers, all that kind of stuff, versus somebody in LA, you're going to have two way different answers based on just geographic location.
Yeah, you're right. You're very
Where
right
people
on
in
that.
LA are like, oh, look, raccoons are cute. No, raccoons are nasty freaking animals. They're trash pandas.
Trash pandas.
You know.
My favorite word for them, trash pandas.
But I mean, all of that is subjective, and that's the thing with these trends. You hear about these trends, and a lot of them are very, very subjective to who they think their audience is.
So, based on that, and I think we're both kind of on that same page.
Yeah.
Women now, like younger women especially, think men are a certain way,
Oh yeah.
and there's an innate thing in men.
Well, and
There's
I
an
think,
innate thing in men
to be
protectors.
honest, men think the same thing about women right now.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There are certain so. I'm trying to say this without getting in trouble with everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's a sensitive topic, but
there's
I think
there's
it's
perceptions
worthwhile.
perceptions on both sides of the spectrum that may be correct and may be incorrect. But the problem is we've gotten to a point in our society where we don't talk to each other. We just I don't agree with you, and that's your response is I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Versus I don't agree with you because X, Y, and Z. Why do you think ABC? There's none of that anymore. It's just, I don't agree with you. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Well, sometimes things are going to make you feel uncomfortable. and you need to
Communication
talk.
has become a terrible thing.
Yes.
It's not easy
No.
because even amongst men, just men amongst themselves, it's not an easy thing to communicate with another man.
It's usually grunts, clicks, and scrapes.
Yeah. No, I mean you're not wrong. But like even communicate to communicate amongst another man, like true feelings, like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? I'm actually having problems right now. I'm actually dealing with some stuff right now. Will you be there for me?
That takes more courage than you can imagine.
It really does, because most people don't have that.
They don't react to it well.
No, they're either going to overreact And a lot of people
Or
think
underreact. And
Or
that's the other part.
underreact.
Oh, yeah, okay, whatever.
yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, that's something that needs to be brought back. Is like, it's okay to have a problem, to have an issue.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's okay to talk to your buddy about it and be okay. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
It's really not, because I'm sure you've probably dealt with the same thing I've dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you have some insight that I haven't thought about. And it's good to be able to communicate that way. And
Well,
people don't
and-
communicate that way anymore.
Well, and I think a lot of it is because of the quote unquote online friends. People who really spend time with each other and talk to each other and care about each other. It's not as prevalent as it was because of the technology and the short part of it. But
Yeah. And people don't think the same way they used to. It's not easy. It's not easy to be able to open up to somebody else, regardless of whether it's a simple thing. Yeah, I got you. No, regardless of whether it's a simple thing or not.
that's going to end up on camera.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But
We'll just do a snippet.
regardless of whether it's a simple thing or not,
Hey, honey.
people don't think the same
How
way.
are you?
She's like,
Hi.
I'm going to grab some things. I'm going to go get drunk
Yeah.
because you guys are already
Well,
drunk.
bye.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I definitely think it's one of those things that it's hard to. I grew up in a way different time
Yeah.
than the kids who are growing up now.
But
The expectations, what we did. I grew up where you'd go out and play out in the middle of nowhere in a field, and that was fun.
yeah,
Now, kids,
it is fun though.
I'm going to go play on Fortnite, and that's fun. Which I
don't
love
get me
video
wrong,
games.
I have
Don't get me
fun.
wrong. I have fun too. I love playing video games. But I did have that experience of going out and building the tree fort and,
Building the things the kids are doing
Yeah.
online now.
yes. Literally
They
did
build
it
it
by
online.
hand.
Yeah.
I did it by hand. And,
Wow.
hello, doggy.
Right?
And then, I used a knife and cut up tree branches to make a spear, and then cut my finger with my knife, and hey doggies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and kids, people don't experience those kind of things now. It's
No, they don't.
It's all digital.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we kind of, every time we have a guest on, we have kind of a somewhat question that kind of leads into that a little bit because that's the society we live in, and it's weird.
Well, and
honestly.
honestly, we're doing it right now with what
We
we're
are.
doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're trying to draw people in, but maybe with a better sense of what life is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because life isn't just the experience online. Life is what you experience through your own two eyes.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
And everybody has a
because-
different perception. Like,
Because that leads me into this whole topic of like ordering things on Amazon or ordering things in general. Like, we live in that society of it's easy. Like,
quick.
hey, you know
I
what?
just got a new
need-
phone. I ordered new chargers, a new screen protector, a new case, and it'll be here in a day.
Yeah.
Versus going out to the place and looking and,
Making sure like I actually
do I really like this one? Or I just like, it looks like it's
Those
good. It's got
pictures
4
look good.
stars.
Yeah.
It's got 4.5 stars. Yeah.
And we've turned in that society of ordering things on Amazon or ordering things online in general.
Yep.
It's easy, and it makes your life, quote unquote, easy.
But is it good? So it's that eternal question of just because you can, should you?
That's a hard question to answer because it's should you do things because they feel good? Should you do things because it's easy?
Yeah.
It
Well, and I've always said sometimes the the hardest thing to do is make the right decision because it's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
No,
it is.
The hardest decisions aren't always necessarily the easy ones.
No, absolutely
and
not.
everything as little as, no, could I buy local for a case for my phone? Yeah, I could, but I didn't.
Of course not.
'Cause it was easy.
You found an easy one on
Yeah,
Amazon.
I was like sitting there.
and
I'm
it
like,
was-
oh, the phone's not here yet. I know this is going to fit this phone that I ordered, and life's good. But it doesn't make it necessarily the right thing to do or the best thing to do.
No.
But it's easy.
Yeah,
So convenience, I think, is kind of a double-edged sword there. Like, everybody wants convenience. Like, I would love to do stuff because it's super convenient, but at the same time, does it mean it's the right thing to do? Not necessarily.
if you could buy sleep on Amazon, would you?
Absolutely, because it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to start stepping out, and I'm gonna call this podcast today for us because I'm running low on sleep. I gotta go to work in about 4 hours, so I'm gonna get about 4 hours of sleep. So,
And that's what I kind of figured.
yeah.
That we were running low on time because
I started falling asleep at
Harry's
this.
starting to fall asleep at the wheel, fall asleep at the mic. But we'd like to again thank our founding sponsors, Legion of St. Michael and Sketchy Alias. They've been great to us. They have done nothing but good things for us. And the link's going to be in our description. You'll be able to contact them for anything you kind of need. Legion of St. Michael, again, they do great things for the community, great things for law enforcement and their families. Sketchy Alias, he's a great designer, done our logo, all that good stuff.
Hooking us up on great things. So
Oh, he really is. And hopefully we might actually end up doing some merch with them.
Yep.
Getting some things out there. So, we're going to end up this podcast.
once again, live good, ride hard. We'll catch you next time.